Okay, this is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the script that Hulu, wouldn't take. Um, I had to format it into Final Draft. I didn't edit or change anything on here. There's gonna be weird shit on the script, like you're gonna see people talking with lines after. Everything is exactly how I got it from a this website this person gave to me because I was asking if anybody has the actual script. So I'm gonna mute myself in OBS now, and I'm gonna hit play and just let the whole thing run through, and you can hear the whole thing.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, New Sunnydale. Pilot written by Nora Zuckerman and Lila Zuckerman. The Jackal Group, October 31, 2024. Book of Shadows. 20th Television, Searchlight Television. Act 1. Interior, Sunnydale High School, night. Ominous shots of a deserted high school hallway. This looks familiar, and retro signage confirms it. We're at the original Sunnydale High. Which is odd, didn't it burn down? A girl moves through the shadows. Her sexy school uniform skirt swishes as she walks. She eases a wooden stake down from her coat sleeve, grips it with deadly purpose. Are we playing hard to get? Don't make a girl beg for it. A full-length locker opens behind her. The girl stops. Steps into a shaft of light. It's not Buffy. This is Stacy. Another day, another sleigh. Stacy spins towards the locker just as a vampire drops from the ceiling. Caught off guard, her stake clatters to the ground. She backs up, stake at her feet. She hooks it into the air with a toe, catches it, and stabs the vampire. Ow, security. She freaking stabbed me. Light swamp on. It's a haunted house maze meant to look like Sunnydale High. False walls conceal backstage areas where costumed vamps are ready to burst from the shadows. Security guards race in. Hey. No hard weapons in the maze. It's just plastic. Plastic is hard. A manager in an old-timey Dracula costume marches up. We have a zero-tolerance policy. I'm revoking your pass. But it's only preview night. And I won't be responsible for another LARPing lawsuit. Not again. She gives up her festival lanyard with a glare at her waiting boyfriend, Chris, in a leather-strapped blade costume. What? I told ya not to do it. Exterior, Old Sunnydale Square, Vampire Weekend, night. Stacy and Chris are shuttled by security through Vampire Weekend 2025, a counterculture event Lauren Fair, full of horror fans, tourists, and goths. There's cosplaying and cosplaying and miles of vampire merch. They move past Edwards and Bella's, an 80s perfect Lost Boys group, even some Slayers, but they are overly sexy, off versions of Slayers. You could have at least defended me. I didn't want to take away your agency, babe. You hate it when I dim your light. That is so you, trying to weaponize my feminism against me. I'm going home. Okay, well, I'm staying. Justifying. It's only preview night. As Stacy stomps through the exit, the security guard shakes his head with a sigh. Every year, every goddamn year these nuts show up. This town. Exterior, New Sunnydale Estates, golf course, night. Stacy cuts through a construction area, past signage about luxury homes, golf, and the picture-perfect community to come. She finds herself on a half-built golf course. So much for freakin' allies. Her phone pings with a text, I'm sorry. I couldn't stay. Hashtag solidarity. Stacy smiles with a satisfied huff when her shoe's heel sinks into newly laid turf grass. Ugh. Goddamn shortcut. As she reaches down to dislodge her shoe, a desiccated hand grasps her wrist. Another gnarled hand thrusts up from the earth and clutches her foot. Stacy falls into a sand trap with a scream. Behind her, a second wraith-like figure crawls from the sand. Its skin is dead and stretched like a corpse, with stringy hair and dirty clothes that might identify it as female. It skitters, lizard quick, and pulls her under. Stacy claws the turf, screams as she sees the thing's vampire teeth. The creatures drag her beneath the sand. There's undulating, violent movement on the surface. Stillness. Then a blooming pool of blood. Angle on Stacy's phone, flashing with texts, "Babe. You still mad? Come on, answer. Whatever." Sprinklers snap on and soak the sand. As the gruesome evidence washes away, go wide to a sign for the coming development, "Welcome to New Sunnydale." Titles up. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, New Sunnydale. Interior Nova's bedroom, night. A teenage girl tosses in her bed, murmuring, "Trapped in a bad dream." Her eyes fly open and she bolts up, gasps for air. This is Nova, 16, a brainy introvert who lives in her head or in a book. She calms as she takes in long, practiced, controlled breaths. She reorients herself. Her room is a comfy mix of second-hand novels, thrift gear, and a love of all things retro. Nova stumbles towards the attached bathroom. As she flips on the light, images flash into her mind. A silver cross glints. A wooden arrow flies. A caduceus symbol splattered with blood. She splashes water on her face. She's got big, curious eyes, and long hair with a streak of purple, her only act of rebellion. She gulps tap water from her hand. Blood pools in her palm. What the? She feels with her hands, there's more blood as a tooth clatters into the sink. Panic rises as crack. Pop. More teeth plink down onto the porcelain. Feels her gums where two razor-sharp fangs are budding. She looks to the mirror but has no reflection. Then she spots a dark figure reflected behind her. She spins, it's another Nova, this one a warrior, face cold, holding a wooden stake. She plunges it into Nova's heart. Nova screams and shatters into dust. Nova's bedroom, morning. Nova bolts up in bed with a panicked gasp. It's morning. She collapses back on her pillow. Her teeth are normal. She catches her breath. Calms easily this time. Nova. Breakfast. Be right there. Quick pops as Nova steps out of pajamas and into an outfit that also looks like pajamas. Pulls back her hair and throws on lip gloss. Next to a bunch of classic fantasy novels is her laptop, which she wakes. Hello Demon Machine. A completed application for a summer abroad program at Cambridge in the UK is on screen. Her face goes soft as she gets lost in dreamy photos of a Gothic library and bookish students soaking up knowledge. A prompt blinks, send or save for later. Nova. Nova panics. She's all elbows as she saves the application and puts the laptop in her bag, only to realize the program's catalog is also out for all to see. She shoves the catalog into her bag, which topples some books, sending a thrift but beloved bust of William Shakespeare hurtling to the ground. Nova's hand flashes out back behind her and catches William, preventing disaster. Whoa. Bill. You saw that, right? Off Nova, shocked at this rare moment of agility. Nova and Abe's house, kitchen, morning. Barefoot and whistling at the stove, Nova's dad, Abe, is the kind of guy who fits comfortably anywhere. Want some eggs? Nah, just a cup of mud. You got it, Moodbug. He takes her in a beat. You sleep okay? Not really. Weird dreams. It wasn't the one about the scary. No. It wasn't that. Off his concern. I swear. It was about vampires. if you can believe it. Vampires. I can't imagine why. Exterior Old Sunnydale Square, Abe's car, morning. Nova and Abe pull over under a sign for Vampire Weekend. This is the old Sunnydale drag, all throwback California cuteness. Demons and vamps wander past. Not to judge, but one must wonder if this is the best way to explain away a tragic geological event. Imagine how the people of Roswell feel. Besides, you always said you wanted to live somewhere with culture. I was thinking more like Portland. Then, testing. You know, I could always look into doing something abroad. Not in a million years. That stuff's for parents who can't stand their kids. I happen to like you. He pulls over. Remember, curfew's 10. If you're so worried, just buy me a phone already. I don't want you living life through a screen. I'd even be happy with a grimy crime show burner phone. Abe senses something deeper at work. Hey, Bug. I know it's not easy, but this time we're staying put. It might take some time, but you'll find your people. She watches a tourist adjusting her kid's plastic fangs. Yeah. I don't think my people are in Sunnydale. In/ext Old Sunnydale, the sink, morning. A warehouse has been converted into the sink with food stalls, an organic wine bar, vintage record sellers, bands play in the courtyard at night. It's hip and indie, the hangout of Old Sunnydale. Find Nova as she opens her laptop. That Cambridge application pops up, send or save for later. Sorry, Dad. She takes a breath, hits send. Feels like a rebel for a beat, then gathers her things and follows other kids grabbing coffee and ambling toward. Exterior Old Sunnydale, the sink/bus stop, morning. A bus stop teems with high school students. These kids are Old Sunnydale from blue-collar families who hung on during the bad times, more alternative and less giving of fucks. Nova stays on the fringes. Nearby, two kids share a vape. Vape Kid 1. And I'm like, if you're gonna call it Vampire Weekend, fucking book Vampire Weekend. Vape Kid 2. False advertising. Nova tries to enter the conversation. Or just throw a Ren fair. At least the Renaissance was cool. Off blank looks, justing, enlightenment. Falconry. They just stare. She moves off, embarrassed. Nearby, a fashion model perfect slayer poses in front of an Insta-wall mural that says, "Keep Sunnydale weird." Hey, you. Me. Brightening. Yeah. Can you scooch? You're ruining my shot. The slayer reframes herself and pouts sexily. Nova's grateful when a bus pulls up. Interior bus, moving, day. Nova stares out the window as the bus chugs out of Old Sunnydale. A few turns and the streets become newly paved. They pass new gated and planned communities with names like Maple Court, Monarch, and Tapestry. This is New Sunnydale. Once a giant sinkhole, it's now the California dream rebuilt and re-engineered. If you're feeling you only moved the headstones, vibes, good. Exterior New Sunnydale Academy, day. An ultra-modern high school. This charter could be a Silicon Valley tech campus, and in a way, it is. A Vortex company logo is ever present, having bankrolled the place. As Nova exits the bus, New Sunnydale kids pull up in Teslas and BMWs. A lyric slows with a purr. Hugo fist bumps the uniformed driver, keeping it real, and joins his crew. They have the latest tech and wear the sneakers others collect. Yo. Hugo, proud geek, rolls with confidence. Being one of the wealthiest kids has earned him a place in the cool crowd. The gang's alpha, Cole, looks at Hugo's outfit. Hugo. What's with your shirt? Galaga. What? It's vintage. We hitting Vampire Weekend tonight? dude. Lame. Geeks in costumes and shit. Rich kid or not, Hugo's status is constantly at risk, so. No man, there's a reason they call it the Fang Bang. Cosplay chicks show skin like it's an art form. What I saw at Comic-Con defied gravity. Hugo mimes enormous boobs, gets laughs. Cole gives him a high five. Hugo's back in, feeling good, as he spots Nova. He gives her a S-up nod, but doesn't want his crew to see it. Nova doesn't respond, sees through the act. Interior New Sunnydale Academy, common area, hallways, day. Nova moves past sign-ups for winter semester extracurriculars. Tables of clubs pitch themselves. Chess. Coding club. Academic decathlon. Cheerleading. PETA. Nova lingers at the drama club winter play table. Oh wow. You guys are doing Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah, but don't worry, we're not doing the original text. We're setting it entirely in the metaverse. Nova tries to hide her horror as she moves off. Int. New Sunnydale Academy, lockers, day. Nova at her locker. Nearby, several evangelical students, Jessica, Kent, and Keiko, wearing Christian Kenyon's ministry gear over their designer duds have an overly polite debate. I just think we shouldn't go. Vampires are satanic, by definition. They're mocking God. Vampires don't exist. But God does, right? And demons don't. Confused eyes fly to Gracie, the ringleader. We all know God's real. So what if it's all real? Then, leaning in. We've all heard the rumors about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The group exchanges looks. It's not something they talk about, but there are whispers. What, she's not just some urban legend? What if she was sent here by God, like a Joan of Arc for our time? I have faith, but that doesn't mean I believe some girl actually slayed demons. Unless they were inner demons. Maybe. But we don't know what we don't know, you know? But we do know. Those vampire stories were just cover for a crazy crime wave. In old Sunnydale. And we're gentrified now. Then explain the earthquake, or the Sunnydale sinkhole, or the fact that there hasn't been a single earthquake here since. Dramatic pause. Sounds pretty biblical to me. They all take that in, mind blown. Nova eye rolls and moves off, confirming it, her people are not in Sunnydale. Interior M.R. Burke's history classroom, day. Nova rifles through all her novels to find her history book. Hugo sits next to her. Finally works up the nerve. Hey, it's Nova, right? I'm Hugo. I know. We've been sitting next to each other for 6 weeks. You hitting up Vampire Weekend? Don't you mean the Fang Bang? Oh. I just said that because you want your friends to think you're cool. Realizing. Yeah. Whoa. I guess that makes me that guy. He seems hurt. Nova starts to apologize, realizing she might have misjudged him, but instead. The bell rings. In front of the class, M.R. Burke, 30s, Cali cool in a beachy man bun, brings the class to order. All right, let's bring our energy and focus everyone, energy and focus. One cleansing breath, and let's begin. First up, we still need volunteers for the blood drive. No takers. He amicably tries again. Don't you want to be the only ones at Vampire Weekend sucking real blood? The vape kid one, Dylan, raises his hand. Yes. Dylan, wonderful. Can I take a personal day? I can feel my mental health, flagging. Mr. Burke's jaw clenches, but he tries to keep it positive. Of course. Mental health is so important. as Dylan Bales. Now, time to pick a historical figure for your midterms. And remember, you must use original texts as reference. No Wikipedia. So, let's hear it. Jessica. I'm doing Hamilton. I'm also doing Hamilton. To himself, every year. Then. Okay. How many people are doing Hamilton? Half the class raises their hands. What if I said you can't use the musical, only original texts? Vape Kid 2. Federalist Papers, bitch. The class chuckles. Mr. Burke tamps down his annoyance. All right, let's use inclusive language. Heads turn as Carson enters, tennis whites clinging to his muscles. Sorry, Mr. Burke. I had conditioning. Of course. I guess we make exceptions for junior Olympians. Overprogrammed and hard-charging, Carson is the object of many a student's desire, including Nova, who awkwardly gets up from her seat. Okay, you can sit here. Or I can sit at my own desk. Carson glances to the empty desk nearby. Nova flushes red. Wants to die. Give any thought to your historical figure, Carson. Andre Agassi? Really? Okay, AI. Who else? Billy Graham. Nolan Bushnell. Off blank stares. He's the founder of Atari, Euphalistins. Agatha Christie. Buffy Summers. The class gives a collective groan. Seriously, come on you gotta be kidding. Vape Kid 2. Wasn't she some cheerleader who died at the sinkhole? Ever patient. Gracie, Buffy Summers is a myth, not a historical figure. No, she was real. And a modern-day saint. I'm going to prove it. Fine, but you'll have to source from original texts, not the conspiracy claptrap online. Gracie sits back, pleased. Nova leans over, whispers. The public library has an old collection about Sunnydale history. You could start there. Thanks. Nova, right? Gracie's cross around her neck glints in the sun. Nova's hit with déjà vu. Memory hit, dream a silver cross glints. Right. You're welcome. Okay, how about you, Larkin? All eyes go to an empty seat. Mr. Burke sighs. Anyone know where Larkin is this time? Exterior New Sunnydale Estates, construction site, day. Larkin, a chronic do-gooder with more heart than sense, is protesting with a hands off their land sign outside that construction site with a gaggle of kooky activists. Whose land? The people's land. Whose land? The people's land. This boisterous group aims to disrupt a ribbon-cutting ceremony for Phase 2 of New Sunnydale Estates. At a podium, Mayor Adams does her best to ignore the ruckus. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, Phase 2 of New Sunnydale Estates will shine like a beacon of hope for Sunnydale's bright and abundant future. This new development has been engineered by our friends at Vortex, our partners in commerce and community. We find Abe in the crowd, snapping pictures. His vest lets us know he's with the Sunnydale Press. As he moves to get a better angle, Larkin shows him a flyer. Did you know this project is being built on sacred indigenous land? Thanks, but I just take the photos. Exterior New Sunnydale Estates, golf course, same. A distance away, a construction supervisor yells at his grounds crew on the partially completed golf course. This hole is supposed to be photo ready and it looks like hell. A small backhoe shovels sand into the sand trap. Its scoop reaches down into the sand and lifts up Stacy's body. Her neck is ravaged. Everyone reels at the gruesome sight. Backhoe up. Boss. Across the way. Abe spots the commotion. Just as the mayor cuts the ribbon, someone in the crowd screams. As Stacy's body is hoisted up, Abe snaps photos as people panic. Watching it all, an old-timer in a construction vest pulls out a cigarette and lights it. Well, look at that. It's just like old times. Off this gruesome sight. End Act 1. Act 2. Interior New Sunnydale Academy, MRS LaDuca's office, day. Nova nervously bops her leg as MRS LaDuca, frighteningly direct, zero boundaries, reads Nova's file on a tablet. A nameplate lets us know she's the college counselor. She swipes. Frowns. Swipe. Frown. Straight as. Honors. AP classes. But no extracurriculars or volunteer work, and zero athletics? I thought I was missing part of your transcript. She jokily flips the tablet over like she's missing a page. But nope. I'm terrible at sports. But my grades. Honey. You think this is about grades? If you need a scholarship, we might have to Photoshop you into a crew boat. Then. I didn't say that. Could you try track? You just gotta run in a straight line. I have asthma. Now that's promising. Maybe we can say you're disabled. Oh, I did just apply to a summer literature program in Cambridge. It's reading, writing, analysis. They have this incredible library. Honey, I get it. You're shy, you're hormonal, you're in your dark academia phase. More. Don't waste a whole summer on it. You know what you need? To be more like Larkin. Larkin. She's got 6 social justice campaigns, summers digging wells in Africa, and her brother died last year. That's who you're up against. Seriously. Her social justice thing's just an excuse to cut class. Well, it's working. Meanwhile, your transcript's a mess. 5 high schools. My dad's a photojournalist, so we move a lot. It's why I'm not into the joining and clubbing. Wait. Single dad. And mom is. Oh, this is good. Dead, right? We can use that. You write your admission essay about how you yearn for a mother to fill the void. So literary. You love this. Her absence. Always felt. I never knew her. And I'm super close to my dad, so I don't feel a void per se. But you're hiding something. I can see it. Under the surface. There's trauma. Let's mine it. Nova does not want to talk about it, but it may be the only way to get out of this office, so. I was kidnapped once. By a scary lady in the park where I was playing. I was 5. I was treated for PTSD, it was a thing. A thing? You bet your ass it is. It's also a banger of an admissions essay. No, I don't even talk about it, it was terrifying. Oh, we are workshopping this. Hopeful. Was there physical harm? Sexual abuse? No, my dad found me and saved me a few hours later. Mrs. LaDuca has never felt more excellent at her job. Honey. Cut the few hours part and I can get you into USC with that. Interior New Sunnydale Academy, lockers, day. Nova shoves her books into the locker with such force it makes her jump. Did she just dent the back wall? Larkin, in protest gear, opens her locker nearby. Sigh. This girl. Save the world yet? Just trying to be the change you want to see, you know? Larkin hands Nova a flyer. Nova just shoves it in her bag. No, I don't. I was too busy actually going to class. Well, it was worth it. They paused all construction on phase 2. Wow. Because of your protest? No, because they found a girl on the 9th hole who was unalived. Still, direct action. Wait, they found a dead body? A girl was killed? Yeah. I mean, We shouldn't presume gender, but Mr. Burke. Larkin's face lights as Mr. Burke finds them. He wears a Vampire Weekend Blood Drive t-shirt and makes it look good. Larkin definitely has a bit of a crush. Larkin. Hey. You know how much I respect your passion for social activism, but missing this much class, it's not cool. Nova stays to watch this, feeling a bit vindicated. But we're about to expose the new Sunnydale Development Company. They're building on the Sacred Circle, it's an indigenous holy site. Larkin. We might even get tribal lawyers on board. What's history class when we're making actual history? What's actual history is your GPA if you don't start showing up to class. I mean it this time. Larkin looks crestfallen. Mr. Burke takes a deep breath, tries to smooth things over. Hey. You're a special kid. Know that, okay? Kid. It sears onto Larkin's romantic soul. Nova pounces. Mr. Burke, do you still need volunteers for the blood drive? I'm trying to get more involved. Sure, Nova. Thanks. Just find me at the fest. After Mr. Burke moves off, Larkin glares. What? Just saving the world? Nova shuts her locker and moves away, pleased. EXT New Sunnydale Estates, Golf Course, dusk. Yellow crime scene tape flaps in the wind. A developer looks at the sun low in the sky and chatters into her cell. We gotta get insurance on board. The family's threatening to sue, even though she was the one trespassing. Yeah, neck wound. She looks at the half-built vista. Her empire. But I'm not worried. Hellmouths are temporary. California real estate is forever. If you're wondering about the operating philosophy of the folks who built New Sunnydale, here you go. She gets in her Lexus and motors off. Stay on the golf course as the sun dips below the horizon. Hands burst out of the sand trap. They're not gnarled anymore, they're pale, young. A vampire, Shirley, surfaces, shakes herself clean. We recognize that stringy hair. She shoves her arm back into the sand and pulls. The second vamp, Jack, emerges. Since they feasted on Stacy, their looks have improved. They're 20-ish, fashion circa 2003, Jack in a Weezer t-shirt, Shirley in her asymmetrical skirt and choker. They share twin-like green eyes. Jack takes in the moon, the stars. Finally. The sky. Night. It's been 25 years. So many of us down there, dying, starving, trapped. Jack can't contain his emotions as he falls to his knees and pounds at the earth, overwhelmed. Shirley shuts her eyes, trying to contain her own fury. Never forget who did this to us. Spitting with rage, Slayer. I'm going to find that bitch and put her in the dirt. Jack, we're family, I'm with you. But we can't get distracted, we have an army to raise. The Magister will lead us. The Magister will lead us. As it was foretold. We need our strength. We need to feed. They both look around at the half-finished golf course, the dusty construction zone, confused. One question. Where'd everybody go? Exterior Old Sunnydale, Vampire Weekend, dusk. Night has fallen on Vampire Weekend. It's in full swing. In the swirl, find Nova. Hi, would you like to donate blood? A Gary Oldman top hat Dracula hisses at her and moves on. Hugo ambles past, happy to see her. Hey Nova. You decided to slum it after all. Nova shrugs, points to her blood drive button, Nova. Well, apparently grades don't matter anymore, so I have to get involved if I ever want to go to college. Yeah, I might just skip it. My dad's high up at Vortex, so I pretty much have a job waiting. And what is it exactly that Vortex does? Everything, I think. Destroying the planet and saving it? Making life simultaneously better and worse? The usual. Nova smiles at that. Just then, Cole and his crew rolls up. Bro, bunch of hot cheerleaders rolling up to the maze. Let's go. As you were. Hugo, embarrassed, gets pulled away. Nova spots Carson in the distance, waiting in his warm-up gear by the curb. Her eyes linger. Hi, you don't know I exist, but can I convince you to donate some bodily fluids? Ah, what the hell? She moves towards Carson, just as across the way Cole, Hugo, and crew pass by an archery range. Hey Hugo, if we're the Avengers, you'd be like, our Hawkeye. Oh/sick burn/he's the worst. Hugo shoves Cole, which jostles an archer with a vintage crossbow. He triggers his arrow. The arrow screams through the air like a speeding bullet. It's headed right towards Carson. He turns. Sees it coming. There's no time to react. Thwit. Nova catches the arrow in midair. Inches from Carson's face. Whoa. Thanks. Thanks. Nova is too stunned to speak. An SUV pulls up nearby and honks. Carson ignores it. Looks at Nova, fascinated. You're in my history class. Nova manages a weak nod. Now the SUV lays on the horn. Carson, conted. Sorry, that's overbearing Dad. Can't wait to spend quality time together. But he lingers, a rebel. Thanks for saving my life. He picks up his gear and goes to the SUV. Nova shoves the arrow in her backpack. Oh my god, could I be more of a freak? As she blends into the crowd, reveal Hugo. He saw it all. EXT Old Sunnydale, downtown, night. Jack and Shirley take in a changed Sunnydale. Teens have eyes locked onto their iPhones. A kid whizzes by on a bird scooter. A guy plugs his Tesla into a charging station. What happened to this place? Is it me or is the future exceptionally lame? These maggots have no idea what's coming. Once we raise the army, no one will be able to stop us. They turn a corner. In the darkness a silhouette. A woman holding a stake, backlit by moonlight. Slayer. Is it? Can't be. Pop. A camera flash strobes from her selfie stick. It's that cosplayer Nova met earlier. She turns to Jack and Shirley, smiles. Oh, love your look. Your vintage gear? So throwback, 10 out of 10. Can we selfie for my Insta? I'm also on TikTok, the algo loves me. I'll legit tag you. Jack and Shirley could not be more spun out. You'll what? Okay, we slay on 3. She positions herself between them, angles her selfie stick. Ready? 1. 2. On the phone screen, Jack and Shirley vamp out and lunge at her neck. Blood flecks splatter her phone as we end Act 2. Act 3. Exterior Old Sunnydale Public Library, night, establishing. Gracie mounts the steps of the library, a new mission-style building in the Old Sunnydale aesthetic. Interior Old Sunnydale Public Library, night. An older librarian with boho flair guides Gracie through the stacks and down a staircase. You're the first one in months to ask about the collection. It's for a school project. The librarian clocks Gracie's silver cross necklace. Ah. I thought maybe there were other reasons. The signs. Signs. They hit the basement and head toward a gated apse. Librarian. I've been here a long time. I remember when the troubles started. The swallows migrated away, the tremors began. Nobody spoke about it, of course. Just like nobody wants to talk about the murdered girl they just found at the new golf course. They did. The librarian unlocks the ornate gate with a key. Above a sign reads, Rupert E. Giles Collection. Ah! Here we are, the Rupert Giles Collection. Mostly gathers dust, but the funding shows up every year like clockwork. Interior Public Library, Giles Collection, continuous. Stacks and shelves of books, real books. And tables for study and archival work, like Giles himself designed it. Happy hunting, dear. Exterior Old Sunnydale, Vampire Weekend, stage, night. A wooden stake flies through the air, and whap hits its target. Widened to show Nova passing a stake-throwing carnival game. Mr. Burke sweeps by, pulling a rolling cooler. Hey, Nova. Just want to say you're doing stellar work. I want you to hear it. Know it. Feel it. Thanks. I just tell people you get a free cookie after and they're all sign me up. Inspiring. I gotta run these to the hospital. Catch you later. As he goes, she clocks the cooler. Marked with a caduceus. Memory hit, that same caduceus from her dream, only with blood splattered on it. Nova snaps back to reality. Chilled. The skin on Nova's arm prickles. She spins, looking just missing Jack and Shirley as they pass behind her. Then, the moment's gone. Okay, now I'm losing it. Pick up Jack and Shirley. They take in whole scene, the fake vamps and Van Helsings and goth carnival games. My God, what have we been reduced to? I'm beginning to feel like there's not a lot of respect for our kind anymore. She shows Jack a website on the faux slayer's phone called vampirelore.com. Case in point, there's like 20 versions of the blood ritual online, but none look right. What's the point of the internet if everything on it is wrong? Did you ask Jeeves? Off her look. MySpace. Then, they spot Mr. Burke, blood drive cooler rolling behind him. They can't believe their luck. We do know one thing. We need blood. A lot of it. Let me handle him. You find a live tribute. And Jack. Bring me back something fresh. Off Jack and Shirley, on the hunt. EXT parking lot, night. Mr. Burke cuts through an alley to a parking lot. His cooler rolls, masking the sound of footfalls behind him. He listens to his instincts and stops, turns, no one is there. He walks faster, cooler rolling, fishes his key fob out of his pocket. He pops the trunk of his plugged-in EV, turns to lift his cooler to reveal Shirley. Mr. Burke startles. Oh. You scared me. Can I help you? She stares like he's a prime rib roast. Are you lost? I'm hungry. Shirley flashes her vamp face. Mr. Burke gasps as Shirley attacks. She pulls away from the jugular with a squish. Blood splatters across the cooler's caduceus, an exact match to Nova's dream. Shirley goes back for seconds. Over Mr. Burke's horse screams. Exterior Vampire Weekend, stage area, night. Find Nova with her clipboard, winding through an ever-growing crowd. Behind her, on a stage, a spotlight hits a cheesy contest host who may have gotten his start at strip clubs. Dramatic synth-driven track pulses, slow at first. Into every generation, there are chosen ones who stand against the vampires, demons, and forces of darkness. They are the Slayers. Everyone has their eyes trained on the stage, except Nova. Over the cosplay Slayers take the stage for a costume contest. Cosplay women, and men, pose with stakes and crossbows. Nova rolls her eyes as she brushes past Hugo and his friends whose jaws are dropped watching the parade of flesh. When a Slayer awakens, they develop unusual strength, lightning-fast reflexes, and have prophetic visions of what's to come. Nova stops. Flashes to memory hit, across glints the one Gracie wears. Memory hit, an arrow flies. Nova catches the arrow. Memory hit, Mr. Burke, rolling away his cooler with the caduceus. Then, another memory hit, dream that same caduceus, now splattered with blood. Resume on Nova as the audience swirls around her. The tumblers in her mind clicking together. She may not understand what this means, but she knows one thing. Mr. Burke's gonna die. Fuck it. She trusts her instincts and goes. Are you ready to slay? Exterior parking lot, night. Nova, heart racing, at the edge of the parking lot. In the distance, Mr. Burke's Ev is gone, cord abandoned on the ground. Bad sign. We track behind Nova as she walks over. Mr. Burke? She takes a few more cautious steps, her instincts tingling. Then with a squish, the solace of her sneakers peel off the ground and come up red. In a whisper. Oh no 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 no, I'm too late. She spins. The whole area is stained with blood. She runs. EXT alley, night. Nova fights tears as she cuts through a dark alley. Feeling like she failed. Looms Jack on a second floor railing. If this reminds you of a bizarro Buffy and Angel meet cute, bonus points. He silently flips down to the ground, landing softly behind her. But Nova stops. Goosebumps again. She turns. Jack leans against a dumpster, smiles lasciviously. Hey Cupcake. Looking for someone? She wipes away tears, turns to go. He follows. Nova turns to look, he's close, impossibly so. Leave me alone. You seem upset. You lonesome? I could be your friend. He curls an arm around her. She squirms away, he enjoys her fear. Nova reaches into her bag and finds a pepper spray canister. Her hands shake as she aims at him. Get away. I'll use it, I'm not afraid. Oh, you're terrified. But I like a girl with a vulnerable side. Jack lunges. Nova sprays. His hands fly to his face, then he vamps out his face demonic, fangs like razors. Nova stumbles back in horror and hits the pavement, her bag and pepper spray go flying. She scrambles away as Jack stalks towards her, full monster now. What are you? You know. With a sadistic smile he leaps on top of Nova, pins her to the ground, a maw of fangs as he nuzzles her neck. She fights back tears. Scared first. Then angry. It knits something inside of Nova together. Her fists clench. Body tenses. Feels an uncanny force. As Jack rears back to bite. She headbutts Jack in the face. He falls back, stunned. Nova, amazed that worked, kicks Jack in the torso with both legs. Hard. He goes flying. Nova staggers upright, in shock. What? Oh my god, this is real. Jack's back on his feet. Ready to fight. Pounces. Nova leaps up on top of a dumpster, in awe of her own dexterity. Whoa. Jack jumps onto the other dumpster. Incensed. Realizing. Slayer. Nova hears that word and her instincts trigger, she fights, lands hits, blocks hits, and kicks Jack's knee out. She jumps back to the ground, so does Jack. He shakes off the hurt with a smile this time. Get ready for payback, bitch. But I didn't do anything. I've spent 25 years dreaming about slicing you open. He races for her, all fangs and supernatural strength. In slow mo, Nova clocks the spilled contents of her bag. It's crystal clear. She knows what to do. Realization lands on Nova like a ton of bricks. You can do this. Accelerate out of the moment as Nova baseball slides across the ground and comes up with the wooden arrow. She staggers to her feet and just as Jack collides with her she clutches the arrow and drives it into his torso. He dusts in a cloud of ash. Nova stands there, adrenaline racing, trying to process. What the fuck just happened? Tears start immediately. Confusion. Relief. Then. Holy shit. She spins to see Hugo at the end of the alley, slack-jawed. You're a slayer? Off Nova, reeling. End Act 3. Act 4. Interior Public Library, Giles Collection, night. Fingers trace along the stacks of leather-bound books. Arcane, historic, musty. The hand stops and pulls out one book, vampire embossed on the cover. Reveal. Like I need my own instruction manual. Shirley tosses it aside and finds a smaller book made of red leather. The blood incantations. She flips through to. Ritual must be done at the hallowed ground of Dash. Must have missed you coming in. Shirley looks up and smiles sweetly at the librarian. Hi. Do you have a map of the area? Everything's changed so much since I was last here. Yes, but it's closing time. You'll have to come back in the morning. Shirley happens to be below a convex security mirror but casts no reflection. The librarian clocks it. Pales. You know I can't do that. Shirley vamp faces, leaps at the librarian and bites into her neck. As she drinks hungrily. Push through the shelves and find Gracie pressed into a corner, hand clamped over her mouth, trying not to scream. Exterior alley, night. Nova paces to burn off adrenaline, her breath returning surprisingly quick. Still processing. Hugo is giddy. Nova. I can't believe you're a slayer. People keep saying that word. And also slayers are real? I mean, fuck yeah, did this town just get cool? Hugo, no I mean that guy, I unalived him. You don't have to act all what did I just do. Your secret slayer identity is so safe with me. Not hearing him. He had a body, he was here then, poof. Dust. Did I breathe it in? Oh God, this is why we mask. She's spinning out. It's only now Hugo realizes. Wait. You've never done that before? Did it look like I've ever done that before? Yeah, those were some fighting moves. I was fighting because I thought I was gonna be pointed. I was walking alone? At night? What they warn us not to do. Whoa. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't think about it from that perspective. Thank you for educating me. Welcome to being a girl. It's a lot. Nova sits on a stack of pallets. She puts a hand to her chest, tracking her own breaths. But you're okay? Yeah, weirdly. I haven't reached for my inhaler in days. And I had this dream about vampires turning to dust, and these images then I saw them in real life. And I saw earlier you just bam caught an arrow mid-flight. Realizing. It's like they said back there, Allah the cheesy host. When a slayer awakens. That's what's up? I don't know about any of that, all I know is I had this bad feeling about Mr. Burke and, oh God. He left with a cooler full of blood and now he's gone and I found more blood. Okay. Vampire, lot of blood, no Mr. Burke. I'm thinking no history quiz on Monday. We have to alert the authorities. Nova heads back toward Vampire Weekend. As he follows. Nova, wait. I think you are the authority. Exterior Old Sunnydale Public Library, night. Close on Gracie, still cowering in the corner. She eyes the exit, but won't make it past Shirley, who paces, venting. We planned on summoning the Magi Stir and raising a vampire army for years, and we're finally here and Jax M.I.A. He was supposed to bring the tribute. She goes to a study table, comparing an ancient map to a new map of New Sunnydale. None of it matters unless we find the site. Sacred circle here, No sacred circle there. Landmarks. Gone, buried. Thanks, Slayer. An odd slurping sound interrupts her. Can you keep it down? I'm trying to think. Reveal a vampire, long shaggy hair covering his face, draining the librarian dry. He lifts his head with a gah. It's Mr. Burke. Mr. Burke grins with new fangs. Did you say sacred circle? Yes, I did, teacher pet. Why? He lets out a dark laugh. Exterior Old Sunnydale, Vampire Weekend, night. Larkin stands in the middle of the Vampire Weekend revelry with 3 activists. She hands a flyer to a vampy lady. Help us stop the new Sunnydale Development Company. Genius meta Hellmouth cosplay. So creative. As she moves off, Larkin finds herself face to face with Charles, another old Sunnydale kid. He's Native American. Yo, Larkin. You know my grandma's Fulchu mash, right? I told her about your protest. Thank you, Charles, I hope she feels our support. The reason they haven't backed your campaign is that they don't want the land back. Taking her flyer. Your translation's wrong. It's not sacred circle, it means cursed. Cursed circle. Gosh, I'd never actually your heritage, but that doesn't sound right to me. Well, you actually just did. He makes the sane choice and moves off as Larkin's phone rings. She looks at the screen and gets flustered. Mr. Burke? Oh my gosh, hi. Interior Vampire Weekend Security Tent, night. Nova is with our old pal, the security guard. So you're worried about your history teacher because you saw some blood on the ground. I am fully aware how this sounds. You sure it wasn't one of those hemoglobin teenies? 'Cause I got all that shit all over my shoes too. This blood was real. He zeroes in on her blood drive button. Maybe from your blood drive? Cringing as she says it. What if I told you I saw a vampire? Girl. Why are you messing with me? Exterior Vampire Weekend Security Tent, night. Nova exits the tent, finds Hugo waiting. Lemme guess. Conventional channels have failed our intrepid slayer. Please stop calling me that. Well, as an unofficial you know what sidekick, I texted around. Off her look, stealthily. No one seen Mr. Burke. He'll probably turn up in a sand trap like that girl with the... He mimes getting his throat ripped out. Oh god, yeah. Why is nobody looking into that? She was probably killed by that. Mouth's vampire. Yup, way ahead of you. See. You need me. Hugo and Nova nearly collide with Larkin, who is on her way out. She raises an eyebrow at Nova hanging with Hugo. Hey Nova. You're volunteering extra hard. Does Hugo know he has to donate actual blood and can't just swipe daddy's credit card? Oh, but it's way too dark out for you to still be throwing that old Sunnydale shade. It's not old Sunnydale, it's just Sunnydale and I'm 4th gen and proud. You're just some tech bro transplant. We're looking for Mr. Burke, okay. He might be in trouble. Oh. He's fine. He just called me. He did. He found an expert who can authenticate our claim that they're building on a holy site. I'm meeting them right now. Nova reels a bit. Then what has she been chasing? Yeah. I guess when it's a cute little blood drive versus my quest to return sacred stolen land. She does a weighs the scales thing with her hands and of course, wins. Welp, gotta go. Hugo watches her trot off. Guess I better study for that history quiz after all. Interior Library, night. From her dark corner, Gracie pops her head up. She's alone. She quickly looks over to the dead librarian, pale and drained on the table. She stifles a little scream. Hands trembling, Gracie pulls out her cell phone and runs. EXT Old Sunnydale, downtown, night. Nova leaves vampire weekend. Hugo tries to keep up. Nova, wait. You heard her, Mr. Burke's fine, and I'm an idiot. I'm just gonna go hide under the covers of my bed and wait for this to wear off. Wear off? Why? You just downloaded the Kung Fu upgrade. I can't do Kung Fu. My PE teacher banned me from pickleball. She said I was a danger to myself and others. I know you're trying to help, but this all makes me feel like a freak. And maybe I am a freak, but that's because I'm uncool, have no friends, and broke 3 pickleball paddles. Near tears. That's plenty. I don't need more. Sorry. Thank you for educating me. Again. Also, dare I suggest you do have a friend now. She warms at that, sees he's genuine. Thanks. And I am really glad you were here tonight. Hey, I got to see you dust the only real vampire at Vampire Weekend. Never seen anything like it? The last part was really about her. It's a real moment of connection, broken when they see Gracie. She runs down the street, disheveled, hysterical. Gracie. Gracie gets defensive, holds out her silver cross. Get back. It's okay. It's just us. Hold up. Why'd you put your cross out like we're vampires? We're not, FYI. Swear you won't make fun of me and call me a Jesus freak. We swear. I saw this girl in the library. But she wasn't a girl. She was demonic and had actual fangs. Like a vampire? It wasn't a costume, she was real. And this is the part where you tell me I'm crazy. We believe you. You do? They nod and Gracie is so relieved it all comes tumbling out. She killed the librarian, I saw it, it was horrible and I didn't do anything, I just hid. Shelter in place, like they taught us. After they left I called 911 but they thought it was a prank on account of, you know, the weekending. Wait. You said they left. I was just getting to that. Mr. Burke was with her. Guys. I think our history teacher is a vampire. Nova looks sick now, mind racing. And she mentioned a brother and that they were looking for the sacred circle so they could do a ritual and raise a vampire army. It all sounded very not good. Very not good. Please don't tell anyone. If my parents knew I was seeing demons, the consequences would be like, call the exorcist bad. Of course. Yeah. I have to go pray a lot now. Gracie hurries off. Nova fishes through her backpack, finds Larkin's flyer. Hugo, the sacred circle, it's all here. And Larkin. Oh shit. You in danger, girl. End Act 4. Act 5. Exterior New Sunnydale Estates, night. Larkin walks through the area where the developer's ribbon-cutting ceremony took place. Mr. Burke? Headlights snap on, revealing Mr. Burke and Shirley. Mr. Burke's long hair flows free. He has a sinister twinkle in his eyes. Larkin's breath catches. Mr. Burke. You look different. Larkin. So glad you could come. Meet Shirley, she's the one who's, gonna authenticate the site. You know the location, right? Larkin just keeps staring at Mr. Burke. Yeah. Yes. But security. Shirley reveals a ring of keys. Not a problem. Widened to reveal 2 security guards sprawled behind Mr. Burke's Ev, dead with neck wounds, out of Larkin's view. Larkin fires up her phone's GPS and heads into the darkness. EXT Old Sunnydale, downtown, night. Nova grips that flyer, brain locked in conflict. I don't know how to do this. It's your calling. You slay vampires. And other things. Other things. Nova. Every day I see you, your nose is in a book and they're all about these epic adventures. You know how to do this. You're the hero that saves us all. Muad'Dib. Luke Skywalker. The boy who lived. Neo. Frodo. Those are all dudes. Yeah, I should probably get your reading list, but that is you. You are that. Maybe you don't believe it, but I do. I saw you become it. But I'm not brave. You went to save Mr. Burke. And look how that turned out. Look. I went through something when I was a kid, something terrifying. Since then, I've lived in a safe, small little bubble so I'd never be afraid again. But now, I'm afraid. I'm not Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, you're not. You're Nova the Vampire Slayer. Nova absorbs that. It taps a hidden well of resolve. A new feeling, bigger than fear. To herself. Screw your courage to the sticking place. Huh. She looks at him, her eyes are steady now, sure. That's Shakespeare for let's do this thing. Yes. Nova looks to the twinkle lights of Vampire Weekend. We're gonna need some gear. Exterior Vampire Weekend, Merch Alley, night. You may be a slayer, but I do have one superpower. Hugo smiles and flashes his Amex black card at Nova like he's Wolverine unleashing his claws. Over music, the BTVS theme song, Hugo and Nova gather gear. Nova picks out a silver cross necklace. Hugo questions the authenticity of a vendor's holy water. Nova buys an old self-published copy of Vampire Hunting, simplified by Wesley Wyndham Price, Rogue Demon Hunter. Nova and Hugo have found Vampy Lady whittling and selling artisan wooden stakes. Hugo Venmos her. At the archery range, Hugo pays a seller hefty sum for a crossbow and wooden arrows. He walks away in a badass hero shot, then circles right back to the seller. Music stops. How does this actually work? Music resumes as Nova and Hugo exit Vampire Weekend, shopping done, ready to take on the real thing. Exterior New Sunnydale Estates, construction pit, night. Larkin has led Mr. Burke and Shirley to a deep construction pit as if an underground parking garage is being built. See. They said they weren't building on it, but, obvi. She watches curiously as Shirley places the last of 5 metal drums and begins to draw lines connecting them all with a piece of rebar. The grooves in the ground create a complex symbol like a pentagram's badass boss brother. How is this going to help again? Staring at Larkin's neck. Fwomp 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 fwomp. Shirley lights the fires. I've worked really hard to keep our message pure, and vandalism seems counterproductive. None of that'll matter when we're done. All that will remain in Sunnydale will be chaos, anarchy, and violence. This took a turn. But you always said peaceful protest was the most effective tool change agents have. We did a whole week on civil disobedience. Ugh. Snooze City. And the worst part was seeing your dumb, oh so inspired lovesick face. Larkin looks gutted, doesn't know this is the demon talking. You kids think everything revolves around you. You wanna make the world a better place? Hold hands and stop racism. What if every little voice was valid and heard and oh my god all you're doing is making everyone feel like shit? Choking back tears. Mr. Burke, why are you saying this? Because being woke is exhausting. But now. I'm a different kind of woke. See, earlier tonight, I died. Then I woke up. Mr. Burke flashes his vampire face and bites Larkin's neck. Larkin gasps in shock, tears streaming. Shirley vamps and tears Mr. Burke off of Larkin. Not yet baby vamp. We need her blood for the ritual. Larkin puts a hand to her neck. It comes away bloody. Sees the two monsters in front of her. She screams. Exterior New Sunnydale Estates, construction site, night. Nova and Hugo stand near the unlocked construction fence as an Uber Black rolls away. It seems very desolate. They share a look and start walking into the dark, Hugo using his phone as a flashlight. So did you think of a plan? Because I did not. I was supposed to think of a plan? Nova and Hugo hear Larkin scream. That's Larkin. As they race towards the pit. Exterior construction pit, circle, same. Shirley's got her spell book out. She rips a blood donor bag open and pours it into the grooves on the ground as forces of the underworld, I wake you with this tribute so the Magi stir can lead you. As the blood fills the design, it takes on a life of its own. I pour the blood of men into your hungry mouth, drink, and be reborn. The design completes. Mr. Burke watches, entranced. Larkin wrenches free and reaches the edge of the circle and UNFF. Is thrown back as if by an electric fence. Don't worry, Larkin. This is a safe space. Exterior construction pit, above, same. Nova and Hugo hunker down at the edge of the pit. Below, the drum fires burn. They watch in horror as Larkin's screams turn to sobs. She's alive at least. Classic force field. Nova scans construction scaffolding, bulldozers, and equipment. An access ramp snakes up at the far end. These Slayer powers I'm like, actually coordinated? Oh, and you get good at clever quips. Like, get ready for a stakeout or what? His gaze follows Nova's. She watches the fires send smoke upward from the circle and into the sky. Her eyes narrow. I think I do have a plan. Interior construction pit, circle, moments later. Shirley chants in Latin. Cum altera luna oratur, cum altera luna oratur. Cum altera luna oratur. Cum altera luna oratur. The blood pulses, gaining power. Mr. Burke holds Larkin in the center of the design, blood dripping from her neck. Cum altera luna oratur. The fires flare. Shirley looks to Mr. Burke. That's your cue. Bleed the bitch and feed her to the circle. You are a special flower, Larkin. Your blood's going to wake an army. From above Nova runs along some scaffolding then park ours to an excavator scoop shovel. She runs along the excavator arm and jumps high enough to slip over the force field and into interior construction pit, circle, continuous. Nova lands in a wobbly hero pose. Mr. Burke, Shirley, and Larkin can't believe it. Okay, anyone want to weigh in on how cool that was, or? Nova. Mr. Burke. Ugh, really? You. So this town does have a Slayer. Yeah, anyway, hi. I'm going to need you to refrain from raising any vampire armies. Shirley, triggered, lunges for Nova but FWIT. A flaming arrow lands at Shirley's feet. They all look up to where Hugo runs, crossbow in hand, lighting up arrows with a bong-friendly vampire-themed torch lighter. He grins. Fuck everyone, Hawkeye was cool. In the circle. Nova draws a hippie-ish floral stake from her jacket. Burke attacks Nova blocks his advances, a few of her punches land. Not all of them, it's catch as catch can. Nova gets close and plunges the stake into Mr. Burke, but misses his heart. He extracts the stake and flings it into the fire. It's so gratifying, seeing you get involved. When I rip out your throat, I want you to hear it. Know it. Feel it. Burke delivers a brutal punch. Nova lands in the dirt, and rolls. Recovers quickly. Okay. Still here. Doing this. Nova leaps and kicks, smashing him into the force field. Damn it. I keep forgetting to quip. Across the way Larkin looks for escape, Shirley grabs her. You're not going anywhere. I'm gonna drain you like a juice box. Let her go. Shirley spins to see Nova with a peace sign stake, armed and ready. She doesn't look very cool, but she's working on it. You think you can take me? I did just dust your brother. Off her surprise. Oh, did you think he was just running late? Nova throws the stake at Shirley, but she bats it down. Nova is weaponless. Shirley drops Larkin, goes for the real prize, the Slayer. Larkin. Run. Shirley comes at Nova, all fury. Nova takes blows. Blocks one, then comes back and wham bloodies Shirley's nose. Shirley kicks Nova's legs out from under her. Nova's on her knees. Shirley wraps Nova in a demonic headlock. Starts choking the life out of her. Above, Hugo tries to light more arrows. The novelty lighter won't cooperate. Helpless, he yells to Larkin. You gotta break the force field, put out the fires. Larkin nods, shoves over the metal drum. The fire dissipates. The blood pulsing around them seems to dull. I think it's working. But Mr. Burke blocks the next fire drum. Oh shit. On Nova and Shirley. Shirley squeezes Nova, who gasps for breath. Nova eyes that blood-splattered cooler, seeing double. Her eyes lose focus, her brain starved of oxygen. I've been underground for years, starving, clawing, and cursing the one who put us there. A slayer. Then we finally break out, and the world forgot we existed. We're just disdain. Pop culture. No more. I'm going to finish you myself, Slayer. FWIP. An arrow lodges in Shirley's shoulder. It's on fire. Well, shit. Shirley drops Nova so she can tear the arrow out. Nova scrambles away, sucking in air. That asthmatic feeling. But it subsides. Nova gets up, knows she can't run. Has to fight. In a hero shot, Nova turns to face the vampire. No weapon. Pure steel. She runs at Shirley. It's a kamikaze move. Hugo. Thwip. Hugo shoots an arrow from above, it streaks down. Nova plucks the arrow out of the air, spins, and plunges the arrow into Shirley's heart. She shatters into dust. Hugo hoo. Yeah. Across the circle, Larkin holds Mr. Burke off with a flaming chunk of wood, but the flame's going out. He stalks towards her, a cat cornering a mouse. Put that down. We can be together. Isn't that what you want? Get away from me. I have so much left to teach you. Nova joins Larkin. Defiant. Nova still has the arrow. She said get back. Or did I miss the part where the vampire army arrived? 'Cause here's the thing. I'm a slayer. And you got nothing. Mr. Burke hesitates, sizes up his chances. Speak up, Mr. Burke. Is there something you'd like to share with the class? Sato, to Larkin. I quipped. Was that cool? What the fuck is even happening? I thought it was fine? I despise your generation. He picks up a flaming drum and flings it at them, a shower of fire and sparks. Nova and Larkin duck. When they come up, the force field has dissipated. Mr. Burke races up a ramp and disappears into the night. Nova looks to Larkin, elated. Larkin hugs Nova, sobbing. It's fierce, genuine. She hugs her back. I thought I was going to die. It's okay. We're okay. Nova realizes she is okay. The fear is gone. You're a slayer? I guess so. It's my first day. And that's a fuck to the yeah. Hugo races up, puts his hand up for high fives, until he sees Larkin's face is a mess of tears. Ah. Still traumatized. Okay. Reading the room. Larkin brings him into the embrace. Hugo accepts, a little overwhelmed himself. Off these three, now friends. Exterior bus stop, the sink, night. An Edward Cullen in baseball gear hails an Uber. A Tom Cruise-ish makes out with a bride against his car. Vampire weekend is done for the night. Nova, Hugo, and Larkin walk past the Keep Sunnydale weird mural. Well, no vampire army. I think we're good. We still have a demonic history teacher. I know in many ways he's a victim caught in a cycle of violence, but fuck it. Vampire Mr. Burke's a real asshole. He'll probably just explode when the sun comes up. Off their doubt. Seriously. By Monday everything'll be normal again. Except now you're a slayer. Not without vampires to slay. A city shuttle bus pulls up. Nova heads for it. Seriously. We did it. Take the victory. And let us never speak of this again. Nova swings into the shuttle. Hugo and Larkin share a look. So we're in agreement, she's like. Completely in denial. Exterior Old Sunnydale, Nova Street, night. Nova slows outside her house, nervous. She checks her watch, it's after midnight. She steels herself to walk up to the door when Carson comes jogging past. Shirtless. Hot. Oh hey. Hey. You're jogging. At midnight. It's the only time I can get away, have a little freedom. You. Nova could not look more strange and disheveled. Oh, I just like to wander the streets, looking like I just did battle with the forces of evil. I'd buy it. After all, you did save my life today. Ah, NBD. You caught an arrow. If you hadn't been there, I'd be over. I'm really glad you're not. They share a charged beat, then Carson smiles. Carson. Well, thanks again, Nova. Night. He jogs away. Nova practically floats to the front door. Abe answers before she has her key out. He's coiled with worry and panic. Nova wants to tell him everything, but... Dad, I'm sorry. Interior Nova and Abe's house, kitchen, day. In the light of day, Abe and Nova sit, eating eggs. I was there when they found the girl at the golf course. And then you didn't come home. We have these rules to keep you safe, to keep anything bad from happening to you again. But Nova feels emboldened. Dad, I don't need that anymore. I know you want me to feel safe, but all you've done is make me afraid. What? No, Nova. I don't need to live my life not being scared. If I'm never scared, I'll never learn to be brave. Bad things are out there. And I need to learn how to face them. All I want is to protect you. You can't. Just at least let me pretend, okay? Deal. They share a smile. As Nova gets up to go refill her coffee, she accidentally tips over her bag. Abe glances down to see that Cambridge Study Abroad catalog peeking out. He takes it in, then looks at Nova, who stands at the sink. We're not sure why, but his face betrays it. He's chilled. Exterior the sink, morning. Hugo sits with Larkin, slurping a multi-layered boba, still vibrating with adrenaline. Larkin, fresh bandage on her neck, drinks black coffee and picks at avocado toast. I spent all night on Reddit. When shit started back in the day, it went on for years and didn't stop until a sinkhole swallowed most of the town. They looked to mark its signage, the sink. My family lived through it. They don't talk about it, much less believe in. You know. But things were bad. Lots of people died. If it's happening again, we're gonna need a slayer. She has no idea what she's in for. She'll need help. We all will. A slayer also gets some kind of handler. He's called a watcher. Ew. It's giving patriarchy. They quiet. Gracie is at their table, holding a giant book. Hey Gracie. Hey Larkin. Nice neck bandage. Gracie thunks down that leather-bound vampire book. We need to talk. Interior Nova and Abe's house, sunset. Over music, we go into a montage. Nova puts a well-worn book down, and glances out the window. The sun is setting. Widened to show she's been reading Bram Stoker's Dracula. Exterior New Sunnydale Estates, construction pit, night. Forgotten, Mr. Burke's cooler of blood bags drip into the earth. As the moon comes out from behind a cloud, the blood moves, filling that elaborate symbol. When the edges connect, blood absorbs into the ground. The ground rumbles. It's an earthquake. Int. Nova's bedroom, night. Nova mumbles something in her sleep, then wakes with a gasp as the room rattles. The words come to her. Come altera luna oratur, come altera luna oratur. Abe rushes in, pulls Nova into a doorway. Ext Hugo's house, night. Hugo has a bad feeling about this as he stands on a balcony overlooking his family's pool, watching the water slosh. Interior Larkin's house, night. Larkin looks up from her bed, hides under a desk. There, hidden away, are a stack of photos of Larkin and her brother. Interior Gracie's room, same. Gracie scrambles out of bed as a cross falls off the wall. Int. New Sunnydale Estates, construction site, night. Cracks in the earth form. The fissures spread from the pit and outward. Everywhere. Interior Nova's bedroom, night. The shaking finally stops. Abe loosens his grip on Nova. What were you saying? Was that Latin? I think I read it in one of my books. I'm gonna go check the gas line. He leaves. Nova digs out her laptop. Types the Latin phrase into a translator. It reads, when the next moon rises. Nova looks out of her window. The moon hangs in the dark. Oh God. We didn't stop it? Exterior New Sunnydale Estates, construction site, night. Out of fissures in the earth, hands claw their way out. Vampires. Buried and starving, but renewed by the blood ritual. They rise. Horrific. Hungry. Magi stir / where's the Magi stir / find the Magi stir. One large hulk of a vampire claws his way out of the mud. They gather around him. Magi stir. He's here. Is this hulking vampire a former bodybuilder or the last remaining ubervamp? He lets out a heroic YAWP that cuts off as a shovel is swung through his neck, beheading him. Dust explodes, and when it clears Mr. Burke stands there, triumphant. Did none of you take Latin? They did not. Magi stir means teacher. The vampires gather around him now. Mr. Burke has prepared for this moment his whole life. Now. Let's bring our energy and focus everyone, energy and focus. He has their rapt attention. Good. My name is Mr. Burke. Welcome to New Sunnydale. Off this prophecy fulfilled we. End pilot. Tag. Exterior New York City streets, day. A beautiful autumn day. Big let the river run vibes as sharply dressed workers all pour into Midtown. We track a woman in a pantsuit from behind as she makes her way across into a massive building housing insurance company headquarters. Interior multinational insurance company, continuous. The woman swipes her ID and sweeps into a crowded elevator. Just as she turns and we think we'll see her face, the elevator doors shut. Interior multinational insurance company, cubicle farm, day. Follow as the woman makes her way to a cubicle, stows her tasteful work bag, sips her coffee, wakes her computer. N. You headed in? Don't want to be late for the morning meeting. N turns around. It's Buffy Summers. Buffy smiles, wry but genuine. Nope. Wouldn't he want that? She looks smart, professional, happy to be one of the many in a field of cubicles. The nameplate on her cubicle says N Summers, an alias she's used before. She grabs her notes and heads off with the others in her department. Stay on her computer as a curated alert box pops up in the corner of her computer screen. Insurance claim #AHJ86472, property destruction, then another alert, death in workplace and possible death liability, earthquake damage, etc. The alerts pop up, on and on. And all from one town, Sunnydale, California. Buffy, ER, and is unaware as she piles into a conference room. As a crushingly boring PowerPoint begins, she sits and zones out like everybody else. Off Buffy, far from the Slayer we once knew her to be. The end.